I am Putrid Corpse. This is the Big Bad Wolf Tovalar.
I'm Tovalar. I'm an amateur artist. I got my own Etsy shop. You can buy shirts like this, or you can buy magic cards from me on tcgplayer.com. Just find a seller and look for Tovalar, or we'll have a link down below so you can buy cards from me. I'm a pretty cool guy, so yeah. Back to Putrid.
Yeah, I'm getting closer to 50 subs, so I just wanted to remind people when I do get to 50, I'm planning on opening. I have two now, collector's boosters for the Lorwyn Eclipsed. One of my favorite sets has come out recently. And when I get to 100 subs, I'm going to finally be opening the full collector's booster display of the collector boosters. So someday soon. These have serialized cards in it, and I was hoping that if I tried to make a the whole YouTube channel only exists to add RNG to my chance of getting a serialized card. This is all just a scam.
So you need to start subscribing so we can get some serialized.
Start subscribing so that I can open this booster box.
Get those hexing squelchers.
And then once I find out that I don't get any serialized cards in my fairy box, I'm probably just going to stop uploading all videos. That's literally the plan.
Hey, but it's cool because I can help you sell those extra bulk on my TCGs. So
yeah, I got a couple Pringles cans that I can put them in to keep them nice and secure until they get to the point where I feel like I can sell them.
Thank you, Magic, for your great quality of cards where they just whoop right away.
You know, I almost got One Piece boosters to open up on the channel because I'm so curious what the quality of the One Piece cards are in comparison to Magic. Like I don't know how often those cards are foiled. I actually don't know anything about those cards, so I probably shouldn't even brought it up in the first place.
Yeah.
Have you sold any of those?
Yeah, I've sold them. I actually have I had the original decks when they were released, the starter decks, the first four. They had the Kid, they had the Kaido, they had the Luffy, and then they had the Warlords ones. I had all of those, but I scrapped them out. And since then, I do still have the Brothers deck from it, where it's Sabo, Ace, and Luffy in like a lot of the cards, and I do have some available on my TCG. So.
And what was your TCG player?
Tovalar.
Just Tovalar.
Just Tovalar.
And that name wasn't taken or you are the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah. A little backstory is ever since the original Innistrad came out, I always liked playing the werewolf cards and such, and during Dark Ascension, they had printed all the cool ones, but never had legendary ones. But one of my favorite was Tovalar's Mage Hunter, so I adopted that as my name for my gaming tags for years and years, and then finally Midnight Hunt came back around, and then Tovalar was printed from that point, so I started being able to play him as the helm of my commander deck, and I still have yet been playing, or not playing it recently, but yeah, I have a big special place in my heart for werewolves. That's where this came from. This is Tovalar's Mage Hunter right here.
And that's when you started talking about how we should ban all fast mana?
Yeah, we should ban all fast mana, anything that's mana positive, because that goes infinite with Hullbreaker Horror, and
infinite feels bad.
Yeah, infinite feels bad. I don't like infinite combos. We should just play casual and just, beat each other with creatures until each other dies, so.
That would be the bracket 2 motto.
Yeah,
I would assume.
But we're bracket 5, unfortunately. So combo out, my friends. Keep that fast mana.
Bringing up all the hot takes like don't ban Ristic Study. Just pay the 1. Right?
Yeah, just pay the 1. Like, get over it. If you don't want them to have cards, then fucking pay your taxes. So, well, pay your taxes.
And I think if we have any kind of action in terms of like banning cards, I think we need to address what Smothering Tithe is, right?
Yeah.
Overall, how it's a little too powerful.
A monster.
Yeah.
Especially when someone already has that Ristic Study in play, an opponent of the Smothering Tithe player, and they're playing something reactive like, say, Sisei or Dihada, where they have a Meg down the field, and all of a sudden they're getting treasures every one of these draws, and they're able to activate at instant speed and start doing shenanigans in the middle of other people's turns, which never okay, because if you can win on top of someone, then that's good in your case, but it's not good for the other players at the table.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up how Smothering Tithe works with the sissies, but flash photography on a Smothering Tithe
Oh, that's really good.
That's really good. I've been hearing a lot of talk about that one.
Okay, and that's just where they double up on the smothering ties then?
And then you throw in the Fairy Mastermind.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You just win the game right there, right then and there.
Oh, that is really good. I still think we should bring back Dockside Extortionist, though. That's where my number one take is on the game. Bring back Dockside. He wasn't an unhealthy thing for the game. He was just fun. Everybody loves goblins.
When Dockside was in the game, all of the tournaments was just Rogside turboing out real hard, and then Timnacrom, they would just cast Dockside and win the game. Almost every game I was in, and people started talking about at the tournaments, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
After Dockside got banned, people started being like, oh my god, my games are lasting so much longer. And then they kept saying like mid-range hell or mid-range summer a lot of
I remember
times.
that.
And they're still talking that shit, but...
The games were long and drawn out, but...
Banning Dockside made a legitimate change to the game. And obviously Mana Crypt and Jewel Lotus are pretty big to people powering out their commanders really fast.
Nobody misses Nadu.
Yeah, Nadu. Okay.
Nadu needed it.
Nadu had to go, but at the same time, if you're going to start talking about Nadu, I think we need to address the Ral in the room and the fact that Vivi is just watching another kind of Nadu that doesn't need a Shuko.
Yep.
Right? Vivi is just Nadu without Shuko.
Yep. Get it.
Tell me I'm wrong in the comments, please.
Rail 2, though, once Rail storms off and everything, it's just like watching a solitaire game.
Rail's legitimately obnoxious. I don't like Rail. But I don't like red in general, so I fully understand that I don't expect to like Rail. Yep.
What's another good storm deck, though?
Are there good storm decks? Krakashima?
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of Krakashima. I don't like the whole, let's flip, let's see if we get what we need. If we don't get what to flip, then we kind of burn out.
What's funny is Illidan just lost at the tournament to the Krakashima player, and he was telling me how crazy that guy's turn was. And yeah, they just get infinite so quick to the point where they're flipping 1 million coins. I think they ended up in a draw, though, so what's the point of going through all that effort, having 30-minute turns, flipping all your coins, and then getting to a point where the game is too confusing for anyone to want to complete it, and you just go into a draw?
See, I built it at one point in time. I was playing it for a while, and it's literally how I felt about it, where it just had too many game actions, too many coin flips, depending on everything, and it's just like, I got so bored and annoyed with it, it's like I just would scoop in the middle of the game because I didn't want to play it out and everything. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to save myself the headache, and unfortunately I'm going to scoop, so...
And I'm like with Lumra, I do get to the point where it's a little exhausting to track all your triggers. But it's all game actions. The whole time you're taking game actions, and I sort of got used to, it's not really Storm, but when I'm playing like Gitrog Monster, when you're taking the same action 80 times in a row. And it's an undeterministic loop, so you actually have to play it out. It feels uncomfortable. You know, you're wasting everybody's time.
Yep.
And, but I've gotten to the point where I've been in that position where I'm sitting and waiting in a tournament or in a game for 20, 30 minutes for somebody to fail their combo. And now I'm getting to the point where I revel in the moments where I get to absorb 40 minutes of your time while you get to let me play with myself and my cardboard in front of you, and you're forced to watch it.
Yep.
You're going to have to sit there and watch that, because I had to watch that nerd 2 years ago do the goddamn same thing to me. So you're going to sit here and you're going to enjoy it. You're going to like it.
Trust me, it's not fun. I've been experiencing a lot of his Lumra play recently, and it's just a lot of just watching lands go
watch these
come
lands
out,
go burp.
Lands go burp.
Dockside's not coming back. Long story short.
So let's throw away Thoracle instead. Thoracle's too easy of a win con.
If I am okay with losing Thoracle, but if I lose Thoracle, Underworld Breach has to go. It is as bad as Thoracle, and at the same time, you might breach into a Thoracle to get the game done, but you didn't need that Thoracle. You could have completed the game with just that breach,
Yeah.
And they came out in the same set.
From the Brain Freeze?
They cost the same amount of mana. It would make perfect sense that if you want to touch the Thassa's Oracle, the Breach is out the window too.
Yeah.
And then everybody can stop bitching. I feel like if you touch Thassa's Oracle and you touch Breach, what do you just ban everything at this point? All the cards feel bad?
Let the more fun decks rise up. The stuff that doesn't rely on the Breach and the Oracle. Stuff like Magda, where it's like Clock of Omens and stuff like that.
The niche
or
decks,
like Moonra.
and those are fun. Those are really fun.
Makes for a more unique pod and everything. Still got food chain decks and everything you can do. Still got Kiki Jiki lines.
Obligated to know everybody's commander.
Yep.
And otherwise, they just get you the first time. You don't know what they're doing, so they'll get you the first time, but you can get back the second time. When you know what their combo is.
Oh, yeah. Like the first time you go against, what's his name? The Sphinx guy again? That everyone play, or Esper, Sphinx, 6-draw, time sieve dude.
Oh.
Yeah. I hate that commander. That's why I can't remember its name. Tevet, is it?
Yeah, Tevet.
Tevet, okay,
Tevet.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Tevet the Sphinx
It
lame
sucks that it
ass.
took us that long to figure that out.
Yeah, that's how little I see you.
The tip of my tongue. I almost had it.
Yeah, just time sieve, get your infinite turns, beat the hell out of people that way, but it's a good deck. I'm just giving it shade because it's a good deck, but it's, yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's that good.
The 6-drop kind of kills it, especially after the banning of Jewel Lotus, so.
There were some serious people that were really invested in that commander. I think you know one of them from the tournament.
Yeah.
Because he's a pretty chill guy. And he stopped playing it.
Yeah.
Because of how slow it is in comparison to other decks and how telegraphed the whole game plan is. Like even though you've never fought it, you know exactly what its game plan is.
Oh, yeah.
So that just sort of shows what its weakness was.
Well, I did fight it once at the tournament, and it was the end of the night, and I actually lost it when I could have won, or at least stopped it from a thing. Because he cracked a Ranger Captain, played his Time Sieve afterwards, and I still had mana open, and I had a Sudden Smash in hand. So, split second, 2-drop, red spell, destroy target artifact. So, the Ranger Captain had been activated, and without thinking about it, with that it's an infinite turn-like thing, he had no protection. So if I would have went to the next turn and remembered right away, hey, I still have this mana, he has this time sieve, I could have actually stopped him in his tracks. But it was game 5, I was hungry, it was the end of the night, so
yeah,
sometimes you get exhausted like that.
The hardest part about the tournament is you have to smell all the burgers and the beers and everything
they know what they're doing,
cooking up while you're in your match. I've had a couple games where I'm like, I don't really have a chance of placing. I really want to lose quick so I can get some food.
Nope.
But then you end up trying and you're there for 40 minutes and you get no time. But yeah, you know how it goes.
Oh, yeah. Very good advertising. Very good advertising having
well, it's
the
not really
kitchen
advertising
attached.
if we haven't said where they were. Oh, you're
I mean
talking
for
the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, okay.
They're using the smell to their advantage to get customers to go over in. It's our LGS. One of them.
Almost local. So,
Almost.
So we're talking about banning cards. What about unbanning Leovold, the Sultai commander?
I think it's an excellent idea.
So, I know it's banned because the card doesn't allow you to draw extra cards if you're my opponent.
Yeah, it's like a Narset part of Veil.
Yeah, so with the wheel, it's obviously very feels bad. But my argument is everybody's complaining about the Rhystic Study. So why not have another 3-drop card that says draw less, please?
Yep.
The other ability on Leovold just says if you target my stuff, I draw a card.
Yeah.
How bad is that? You're blowing up my thing? You guys like blowing up my thing? Just give me a card?
Yeah, right. And then it shuts off the Rhystic, so nobody has to even worry about paying the taxes.
Rhystic, shuts off the fish that people are complaining about.
Yep.
It stops Bowmasters. Everyone's bitching about Bowmasters.
Stops the smothering
Stops
tithe.
smothering tithe.
Well, not all the way, but mostly.
It slows it down a little bit. And you tell me, I'm pretty sure that every good commander is good because if you have this one other obscure card,
yep,
it's better. And it's just really niche and good in that deck.
Exactly.
So just wheel cards happen to be niche and strong in the deck. just like Time Sieve is a little niche and strong and timid and wins you the game.
Exactly.
It doesn't win me the game, it just gets me a high advantage point.
And that's perfectly fair.
That's perfectly fair.
Yep.
Having a card that synergizes to get you high advantage in your deck but doesn't necessarily win you the game, I don't think that's a bannable offense.
That's like Rocco even. Like, it's a toolbox deck, so I got to value in the command zone. If I'm seeing someone do something that I don't like, I can play him out and I can get my stacks piece into play. I can, if I need more mana, I can get my Enduring Vitality. It's just good to have, like, commanders with utility that aren't necessarily just trying to win you the game, but also trying to keeping people down from being able to, like, storm off and do crazy stuff.
So that's my plea. I went through this whole thing. I put up these stupid Sultai flags. I made this dumb little video. Please unban Leovold.
And Dockside.
He's not that bad. Dockside should stay banned.
Dockside all day.
No, keep the Dockside banned.
I'll convince them one day. Wizards, I know you're watching. What other ones? Make more partner commanders. Partner commanders are really cool. I know they're overpowered, and I just think it'd be more fun if there were more of them, to be able to do, like, different combinations of them, to have a little bit more fun with them. Just so, like, decks where you need a Golgari one, you're not just... Because that's only Idric for Golgari partner, right? That's one of those ones that is a singular.
You technically have options, obviously. If you're talking Thrasios is one of your partners, then you still have a lot of options. Like Silas could make you.
Yeah, for the mono black part.
Oh wait, no, I'm not even. So you have a lot of options. I do feel like if you just want color, if you want good commanders, yes, you don't have a lot of options. But I almost felt like someone was talking about that they were almost at a point where they wanted to either ban or impact partner commanders in a negative way because of how much of the meta has just become partner commanders, right?
I think Mark Rosewater said something about it where he didn't like partner commanders and think it was one of those big mistakes. Quote me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think they regretted doing partners after the fact because of how powerful the ability was to have, where you could just mix and match whatever cards you wanted to go with. So,
and I think it was right before the recent dialogue that they had about banning Thassa's Oracle and Rhystic Study. But I heard that something about partner commanders was on the chopping block, and obviously it didn't happen.
Get rid of
Rogue at that point. And even when I heard that, I was like, well, there's nothing you could do. Partner commanders are too much of the meta, and too many people have literally devoted a large portion of their identity to specific partners. You know, I see a lot of Rogside players or Timocron players.
A lot of Thrasios.
You know, Thrasios Francisco players that have put a lot of effort into their commanders, and they really like them, you know.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are just generally curious as to, like, how to interact with the other players at a commander tournament.
Yeah.
Right? And one thing I've noticed is a lot of the more seasoned players, they'll take advantage of the people that are just coming to the tournaments, maybe for like a one-time event, or they're in the area, they notice something big was happening. Or they notice the prize just happens to be really big, you know, this time that they happen to be going. And I've talked to a lot of them. You'll see faces that aren't the same people that you see pretty much every time you go.
Yeah.
And I'll be talking to them and just get a general idea, like, you know, what the vibes they're feeling, how it's going. And a lot of times they're sort of talking about hostility.
Yeah.
You know, a large amount of hostility. My sister, she went to a tournament and she did pretty good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she felt like she made a couple mistakes and people were very aggressive about the mistakes she made.
Oh, yeah.
Or asking questions about, like,
what are you tutoring?
What's going on? Like, what cards people are playing because of how fast people just breeze through their plays. And I've even noticed, like, some of the champions,
Yeah.
the way that they'll play their turn is they'll just put cards down and move them around and not actually make any declarations on what they're doing, almost putting them in a position where they can't make a mistake because they're not actually definitively declaring anything.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of social,
pressure
to not have to call the judge all the time.
Yeah.
But you'll also notice the people that are doing very well in the tournaments, they're calling the judge over an accident.
They are not strangers.
Yes, they are not strangers. They're judge.
Yep.
After I've had I went to draw a card and I've had a card off the top of my deck just flip over in front of everybody and everybody sees it.
Yep.
And immediate judge call.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But when they talk to the judge, they try to frame the scenario into where it almost seemed like purposeful.
Yeah, like you're just trying to peek at your next
card.
card.
Yeah, so...
And normally the judge will just have you, shuffle it in or just something like that, or keep it on top maybe even.
Yeah, they'll have you put it back on top and just sort of keep moving as it is. It just...
Accidents happen, guys. Don't overplay them.
But I actually think it's part of their strategy. And I've noticed this too, and I'm trying to watch out for it a lot better. But... I don't know if I told you this, but I was against one of the big brain boys.
Yeah.
In my fourth match in the last tournament, and I had a win on the stack. I'm announcing everything as I'm going through, and he starts double backing and things that are really hard to prove. And trying to question if I actually did that. Like, for instance, I went to cast my commander and he started, it's 14 this time. And I knew exactly how much my commander was. Every time I'd cast it, I would tick up my dice and I was keeping track. I knew exactly how much I cast the time before. And I know that he knew exactly how much my commander costs. Because he's big braining harder than me. I'm going out there, I'm eating Eddies, I'm puffing on a vape pen.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this the smartest way. I'm not sweating 180 degrees on this.
We just play it for the fun.
Yeah, we're having a good time. But I know this boy's sweating so hard because I just go to try to put my win on the stack. Boy puts his hand up the other dude's ass and starts puppeteering him. Literally, one of my opponents said, I'm going to crack a land. And I think this is free game knowledge. If I'm searching my deck, you can have it too. So he hands him his deck, hands
weird.
the dude his hand, and it basically just says, just play for me. I can't beat this bear. And then at the same time, while I'm trying to go through my win, he starts saying, how did you get that much mana for that? When I'm tapping everything, announcing everything I'm going through, and then when I'm moving on to the next step, he's trying to backtrack and just questioning things that he knows are hard to prove.
Yeah.
And then when I had to call the judge over, this is the same game, I went to go resolve my Lumra triggers. I was putting 2 Lumra ETBs on the stack at the same time. One from the original cast. He would come in, and then I would make a mirror pool copy of him.
Okay.
The copy would die. That would put 2 Lumra triggers on the stack.
Correct.
I resolved one of them, and then I went to go resolve the second one, and he said, well, you only had one on the stack. You never put another one on the stack. Well, this is the only way I'd been operating my turn. And he only brought it up like that, I felt like, because I had just brought the judge over, and he was trying to bring questions into my turn. It was shady.
Yeah.
I think the way that some of these tournament grinders that are winning so many games is not only are they playing a smart, intelligent game, but they are min-maxing their IRL interactions to a point where they can shave off the corners so they can just get to the win quicker.
Oh, yeah. A lot of it's taking advantage of newer players, too, and kind of pressuring them in. Like, as he said, the guy searching the other guy's deck and looking at his hand, trying to help figure out solutions and everything.
They make you feel like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Here, let me help you play.
Yep.
But while they're playing for you, they're playing for themselves. They're at no point ever playing for you.
Yeah, they're not your friends. Don't ever believe them.
They are playing for themselves. And if stopping me from winning helps them get that win, then you're their buddy in those 30 seconds.
And they will do that. They had me once stop Gwenem, like, right after it did its attack instead of waiting to see, like, what it would bowl Lost Citadel into after its attack. So I ended up using my removal to take out the Gwenem, and then the turn after that, the Kinnan player went around to his turn, had Kinnan on board, and now with my sudden shot going out of my hand, he happened to have Basalt Monolith ready to go, and we just lost right there. So after he had been declaring, hey, you should probably get rid of this Gwenem before it attacks, so that way we don't have to deal with the Bola Citadel, just so happened he had a land on top too, so it really wouldn't have mattered because he would have just stalled out right there. But yeah, I got talked into it. I didn't have a lot of knowledge of the commander at the time.
And that's part of their strategy, is talking you into using your removal early, knowing that they are the turn after that play.
Yep.
So if they can get you to use your counterspell to just stop these value plays of this guy, then when they go to put their win on the stack, you don't have anything left to stop them.
Going unimpeded, so.
Yep. They sandbag their interaction very hard, which you have to. You have to know when to use it. If you're just burning interaction on small little plays, if you think that crop rotation is a 100% mental misstep hit,
you got a big brain.
Yeah, you got a big brain,
really
but
big.
I think a little too big of a brain.
Yeah.
You got to try to think that maybe the demonic consultation's a better target. You know.
Yeah, use that Mega Mind properly.
Yeah, if you got a brain that big, use it wisely.
I don't know if you guys remember, but back when they were printing blocks instead of just set by set and everything, blocks were way more fun. Just having like 3 blocks in a row telling a cohesive story instead of, hey, let's go set by set and visit all these planes. Like, no, let's just stick to the blocks, have fun for 6 months, 9 months, however long they are, and just enjoy our Magic stories.
I really miss the old way that the sets were sort of constructed. They've lost a lot in their cowboy hat sets.
Yeah.
And
a lot of charm is gone.
Very disjointed. I agree completely.
Magda did not need to be a cowboy. Keep her on Kelheim. Like, these characters do not need to be traveling the multiverse like they're doing. I understand what you guys are trying to do is just make less characters, have them be around more and everything, kind of like how they had the Planeswalkers, like during the Gatewatch and everything, which was a great set when they still had sets, because sets are great. But, yeah.
Yeah, I've been calling them SpongeBob sets, Universe Beyond. I like just straight calling it SpongeBob set, because it really gets across the whole vibe of, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Spider-Man, Avatar, SpongeBob, TMNT. It's all like a big pile of junk. It's like your little toy chest.
Yeah, keep it out of my Magic game, please. Like, I like my cool fantasy stuff and stuff like that. Like, I understand you guys want to share your IPs, but tone it down a little bit. Like, keep them to secret layers. Have occasionally cool cards printed and everything. So, not whole sets set around this stuff.
And the worst part is, I think everybody's at that point that nobody likes Universe Beyond. It's not even interesting to say.
It's exhausting.
So why keep going, right? But I think we know. We're still buying the sets, but it's not necessarily even because they're avatar cards, right? I would have bought the Badger Cub.
Yeah.
No matter what skin it had, it could have had the Fortnite skin, and I still would have bought it.
Wan Shi Tong,
Wan Shi Tong could have been 6/7 the bird.
Yep.
I would have bought it anyways.
Yep, the Redirect Lightning, another great card from it. So there is good stuff being printed in the universes beyond and everything, but being trapped behind their IPs, it's just, I don't know. I personally do not like the whole other IPs infringing into my Magic Gathering. I like its own original story. I like that. Even when they took the Secret Lair cards, like the Stranger Things, and they reprinted them as like even characters inside the Magic world. They had them with the Street Fighter Secret Lairs, the Stranger Things, even with Spider-Man on Arena, how they couldn't do Spider-Man on the actual arena, so they had all the reprints of like different characters like reimagined in the Magic universe. Like, just do your own thing, Magic. That's why we love you. Like, you're a game that was always cool, had your own kind of unique like planes of existence on it and everything, all sorts of cool creature types. Like, stay in your own lane with it. You don't need to be bringing in all these extra IPs.
It took so long for them to just reprint any of those cards. Did Rick Grimes got a reprint, right?
I
They
believe
have
so.
in-universe Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
And I bet you it's a fucking $50 card. No?
Yo, last time I checked, it was a while ago, but yeah, last time
And
I
Rick
checked.
Grimes was good,
Yep.
but I think they purposely made him really good.
Yep. I know he's playing Winota.
Yeah, I was about to say, but Winona, you don't really see a Winona.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Another fringe deck.
I'm glad I don't see Winona anymore. I never liked Winona.
Very exhausting.
Very, very exhausting.
I'm gonna flip these. Like, I like the cool combat style of the deck and everything, but the whole stacked out part and having to count all your combat and everything, playing against it
It's
is...
a good deck. I lose a lot to Winona.
Oh, yeah.
I personally don't know how it fell out of favor, but I could see maybe they just got to the point where they were staxing people and somebody still won.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to stax one game style, the big downside of stacks is keeping 3 players down.
Yep.
And once you take one player and you say, hey, your game is hard to play or you can't execute your combos anymore, their whole game plan just becomes, I hate this person,
Yep.
and I'm going to do everything I can to disrupt their game plan.
Yep.
So it really quickly becomes arch enemy.
Yep.
And if all your deck does is slow people down, how are you going to win, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, they get there by beats, right?
Yeah, pretty much just beat the hell out of people or go into an infinite combo. I think they can do it with Jolly Balloon Man and Combat Celebrant or something like along them lines.
Does Jolly Balloon Man actually see a good bit of combos? Because for some reason I feel like I see him a little more than I expected to.
So he goes with Village Bellringer for the untap, and as long as you have a creature that can tap for mana.
Is he like a Kiki Jiki?
Pretty much. He's a Kiki Jiki with an extra step. Because he creates a 1/1 counter, or 1/1 token of whatever you're creating. Or a 1/1 balloon creature token of a copy of whatever you're creating. So if you're doing it with Village Bellringer, when Village Bellringer ETBs, it untaps all creatures you control, and as long as you have a mana producer, you can pay to 1 into Jolly Balloon Man every time to be able to create another token of the Village Bellringer. And then all those
it costs mana to activate?
Yeah, so it's Kiki Jiki with extra
Okay,
steps.
I see the extra step.
Yep. Another cool card, though, that Winota runs that I don't see playing in a lot of decks because it's a stacks piece that locks out a lot of people is Clarion Conqueror. That's one that finds a lot of play in there.
Is that dragon thing that stops people from doing anything? Or?
Yeah, the dragon with activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and I want to say enchantments. There's a third one on there, so. Or it might be Planeswalkers even. It might be a Planeswalker one.
Yeah, no, I think it does shut out Planeswalkers too.
Okay, we'll
Yep.
put it on the screen so we'll know.
Yeah, I was going to put them all up.
Clarion's a pretty cool piece. I saw that at a tournament where I was going it was just one-on-one. It was the end of the night. It was like me and another guy matched up, and he was playing Winota, and I was playing Magda, and I was trying to go faster than him, and he threw the Clarion out, and at that point I was like, alright, I can't really do anything with my deck now, so have fun.
Now, what would you say to somebody who's going to their first event? Like, what kind of tips would you give them if they're going to a kind of tournament and they don't know what to expect?
My advice to like newer players going into tournaments and everything, it's gonna feel a little daunting at first. It's gonna be a little intimidating. You're not used to like playing with people like that at a kind of competitive meta. But just go in, know your deck before you go in, have fun with it. Know you're not going to win first place on your first try. Never have the delusion where, I've been beating up my pod for so long and everything. Now I'm going to go into this new ecosystem and just be top dog. It's like...
Unless you're Kyle.
Yeah, unless you're Kyle. But otherwise, you're probably going to get your ass handed to you a little bit. But
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
use
Expect
it to
to lose a
learn.
lot.
Yeah, use it as lessons. Don't use it as, oh, I suck at the game. No, because you're going to only get better the more you get your ass kicked. Like, I always tell newer players that. Like, at anything, that's just life in general. You got to fall a couple times before you get up, so.
Yeah, that's about right. I definitely would have to say you're going to lose a lot of games.
Yep.
Even if you think about it, the people who have a high win percentage, they're winning about 25% of their games, and that already feels like a lot of losing if you're somebody who feels like you got to win everything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's very discouraging when you're going to have to lose 3 games to lose 1.
Yep.
Especially if you got 5 games to play and the 1 game that you won happened to be before the tournament and you're going to lose all 5 games at the tournament. You can't be sad going home with a goose egg because, even our big brain buddy over there,
Yep.
dude, he was goose egging hard.
Oh, yeah.
Mon's goose egg. And then he got in the top 4.
Yeah, so it happens over time. Like, you're just going to get better. You're just going to get better. And honestly, you learn more from your losses. Because as long as you sit and reflect, don't get demoralized. Just keep going with it. If you give up, you're a loser. So just keep going. That's just pure life advice right there.
Yeah. I would say that in the tournament, some of the bigger things that you want to do would, if you feel like you see something on the board that is worth interacting with, let's not jump to it. Say, I'm going to cast Abrupt Decay, targeting blank. Let's say I'm going to show Abrupt Decay. How do you guys feel if I were to blow up this guy's Ristic study, right?
Learn to conspire.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of information from the pod.
Nope.
As to why you probably shouldn't. Now, obviously, you can't ever listen to the person that you're blowing the thing up for unless they have a very valid argument.
Yep.
Sometimes the pod will chalk you into trying to use your removal just so they don't have it available for them.
Exactly. Pay attention to the guy who's trying to push you to use the removal. If they're too enthusiastic about it, they're probably holding on to something you need it for.
And don't say that like a double negative. We're not saying, hey, none of this makes any sense because we said that they're going to be lying, but you got to listen to them, but don't listen to them.
Exactly.
What we're saying is you have to be extremely careful.
Yep.
When you use your removal pieces, because a lot of the times, if it says instant on the spell, don't use it as sorcery speed.
Oh, never.
Don't use it as sorcery speed. There are so many people who are like, well, I gotta use this white mana to Swords to Plowshare because I'm about to untap.
Yep.
I've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Where somebody's gonna sword something because they're going into untap and they have a untapped white mana source.
Save it for something relevant, like their stacks piece if you have the untap. Not just because, hey, look at that Noose Constrictor that might do something in a couple turns.
The Noose Constrictor event. I think I had a Noose Constrictor take about 8 damage.
Alright. That Bull Blaster was pow, 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 pow.
Before the Noose Constrictor even went down. And there were things with 1 life all over the board. And a lot of the pings, there was no expectation of a second draw coming.
Yep.
it was just precautionary. If somebody accidentally hiccuped and drew an extra card, then you would take out the Noose Constrictor, but we'll move past that. We're gonna move past the Noose Constrictor event. It was a whole nother thing.
So wheels have always been a great part of Magic the Gathering. Time Twister, Wheel of Fortune, Windfall. All say each player discards their hand and draws that many cards. Well, except Time Twister says a little bit extra, but it all is mandatory wheeling and everything. These days, you have stuff like Step Between Worlds or Will of the Jeskai and Raphael's Technique, and they have the cloths on them where it's still a wheel, but now it offers each player may discard their hand. And personally, I think that's pretty lame. Like, probably one of the lamest things. It's like you shouldn't have an option to wheel. If someone's playing a wheel, you should be wheeling. Because wheeling's just one of those great disruptive techniques in the game of Magic that it's just fun to make everybody wheel. It adds some chaos to the game. Everybody now gets to be like, I wonder what my hand's going to be. It disrupts them from having their combo pieces that they've been holding on to. Now all of a sudden you're like, hey, you can hold on to your stuff, but I'm going to enter into the realm of chaos. And bam, now they're just able to do something because you got a little greedy with wanting to have chaos. So.
And speaking of wheels, Leovold. Unban Leovold, please.
He's not that bad of a
guy.
guy.
Sultai's not doing amazing. You look at the top commanders right now in the tournaments. Timna Krom.
They all have red in them, yeah.
Ragashai or something. People be doing Ragashai now, I think.
Yeah, Sultai needs its days back.
Glarb is not great. Okay, I don't like the frog.
Yeah, his moistness is...
Givrog Monster, I like that frog, but that's Golgari, okay?
I like
Flubs. I want to play a little blue.
Flubs is cool, but I need to actually
You've
build
never made a Flubs deck.
I have not,
you
except
haven't
online.
Even played it. He doesn't know Flubs, okay?
Not
I've
yet.
seen other people play Flubs. He's never played Flubs.
I'll get into my Flubs. I have a list. Complete the Spirit Guide cycle. Have a Spirit Guide for white, black, and blue come out.
And the blue Spirit Guide.
That would be so...
$100 card. Wizards, you make the blue Spirit Guide... You make it foily, $100 card,
easy,
and it doesn't even break the fucking game. Well, I mean, so it will break the game, but it won't look like it's gonna break the game.
It's just like a free spell without being a free spell. You just exile, and now all of a sudden you get your Swan Song, you get your Strict Serenade, you get your Flusterstorm, you get your Ponder if you are really feeling that way. Brainstorm, instant speed at least, but yeah, it's something that you can just do as... It looks like pseudo-free interaction, but you're actually paying for it, so it gets passive Xing Bobble.
Yeah,
and
Elvish Spirit Guide, I love that card. I play it in every deck that's got green. You can't really convince me not to play it. It's too good.
A black one would go good and get Rog, too. You'd have another out to get your extra mana with it.
Man, don't get me excited. If I had a black and a blue Spirit Guide, oh, jeez.
I've seen Elvish Spirit Guide pull off some crazy stuff with him for just like
turn zeros. Yeah, turn zero plays. Yep.
Even getting you out while you have your infinite Dakmor loops and everything, so you can get the Crop Rot to get what you need to go with it for your Emergent Zone normally.
Well, before I end the video, I just want to remind everybody I am trying to get to 100 subs so that I can get my serialized card from the Collector Booster Box. And when I get to 50, I think I'm 5 subs away right now. If I get to 50, I'm going to open up the collector boosters I have for Lorwyn Eclipse.
It's only 5 more, guys. Come on.
5 more. And I have some Lorwyn Eclipse play booster boxes that I'm going to be opening up soon. You can obviously see there's a trend with the fairies. I like the fairies, so.
He has a Marlin deck in the works.
And I'm going to put the links for Tovalar down below. The Big Bad Wolf, BBW. He's my guy.
Woo! Yeah, buy my shirts, buy my cards. Pretty soon I'll have...
Buy his cards.
Yeah, buy my cards especially.